I'd like to begin by expressing my utmost delight in hosting every one of you for this party, being the second time this year that we have had to interact. I'd like to also appreciate the Chief Executive Officer of the media today for the earlier remarks that he made. That actually lays the foundation for this interaction that we're having this morning. Many aspects of the remarks that I had intended, he aptly captured them. And so, it might not be necessary for me to repeat. However, it is necessary for me to state that you, as men and women of the Fourth Estate of the realm, by dint of your distinguished positions and appointments, you truly are gatekeepers and those who are in the best position to set agenda for every discourse. And for us in the armed forces, more importantly, discourses that center on national security. And so this is the meeting point for us to have this panel. Understanding that you are here not to help the military, but rather to join the military to solve our common problems, which are problems that are centered around our collective security. So it's incumbent on you and I, along with members of the armed forces, to reason together and they hope that the outcome of our engagements will yield tangible outcomes that will enable you and I to live, and of course all Nigerians, to live a worthy life, meeting our aspirations as individuals, and of course for our children and those that are yet to be born. So it's from that context and that perspective that I'd like us to please open up our minds, make inputs and suggestions that will make us to collectively solve problems of national security nature that the armed forces currently have found itself to be at the forefront in driving the process. Let me also say that it will be appropriate for us to understand that even though as men and women, as citizens, we are political animals, there has to be a distinction placed between the military operations and partisan political operations. I use that advisedly in light of the fact that currently it's not inappropriate to begin to see the narratives as espoused within the political arena, especially the partisan political arena, as an operation in itself. So it's from that context that I'd like us to have a clear distinction, to know that for us as members of the armed forces, we must be isolated from those narratives that tend to present partisan political activities as operations in themselves. Let me equally use the opportunity to apprise us, even as we go into the parley proper, that yes, there are a good number of activities, a good number of actions, if you like, of the armed forces and the police and other security agencies that have been taking place since our last meeting, which of course may not have been covered in our weekly briefs to the nation. These activities, of course, in the course of our conversation, we'll have to mention them. Let me equally bring to notice that within the same period, there have been ignoble actions, or if you like, activities of men of the underworld who have had to carry out ignoble actions that have impinged on our collective well-being, namely the unfortunate train attack, and of course the attack on the Kuje Correctional Center, as well as what also have been reported in the past, which is the attack on the presidential convoy, the advance party, when they were going to Daura to prepare the grounds for Mr. President's arrival. Now these, and among several others, of course not forgetting the Irabor incident, the church incident, both Irabor First and Irabor II, the incidents that have tended to shape narratives and bring men and women of the armed forces and the security agencies to present them in a form and shape that make it to look as if the nation not only is under siege, but the nation has become so much under stress that everyone is beginning to think the other way around. Why I'm bringing it to let you know that yes, these very unfortunate incidents have occurred, but those who have been placed to deal with these issues from the front line have actually undertaken, and I like to very heartwarmingly present to you that we've done quite a lot, and it's my pleasure to also let you know that starting with the church attack, we have arrested those behind that dastardly act. It was my intention to present them to the public, but of course, because of certain investigations were still carried out, I had to, on the last count, change my mind, and that otherwise I would have brought them here for you to see them. And I'd like to say that in due course, you will see them. Not just those ones, but of course those who have been at the heart of very daring attacks, those who have turned themselves to men of evil to put our nation under the kind of desperation that we've had in the past few months. And for the purpose of this interaction, I'd like to read out their names. And as I read out their names, let me say that it's not just only the armed forces that were involved. DSS, the police, and of course other intelligence agencies were part and parcel of the efforts to apprehend these criminals that have put us and the nation on the toes. On the 7th of August, Idris Ojo, who is 32 years old, was apprehended at Ayetoro in Ondo State. He is one of the high-profile Islamic State in West African province terrorists that escaped from Kuje prison. Alongside with him is Jimo Ibrahim, who is a 39 years old criminal, who was also arrested. Idris Ojo wasn't done with all the criminal activities it undertook in the past. He was also planning other deadly attacks, and perfecting those plans along with his cronies before his arrest. On the 1st of August 2022, again, the military, they combined operations with the DSS, arrested 4 terrorists at Eka, Kehi local government area of Kogi State. These are Idris Abdulmalik Omeiza, otherwise known as Ben Malik, Momo Otohu Abubakar, Aliu Yusuf Itopa, Awal Ishaq Oninisi. Now, Omeiza is one of the masterminds of the 5th June attack on the Catholic Church in Irabor, as well as the attack on the police station in Adavi, local government area of the state, that led to the killing of a policeman, as well as weapons being carried away. Additionally, on the 6th, of course, this has been reported, of August, based on our air operations, Alhaji Abdulkarim, along with his fighters, were killed. Alhaji Abdulkarim is one of the bandit leaders in the northwest of the country. And we hope, before you leave, to give you the clips of that operation. It's surgical and it's necessary for Nigerians to know. Not only that, there are several others, of course, which we have also compiled in a clip that we're going to give to you. By dint of surgical air operations that we conducted, many of the bandit leaders have been killed. Beyond that, we have heightened our ground operations across the country, that in particular, the Northwest and North Central. And in the meantime, I can only let you know that so much has been achieved. Many of the bandits have been killed, and we will, in due course, as it becomes appropriate for you to know, give you the details. Let me equally state that with respect to the train attack, many of the victims, of course, it's already in the public domain, have been released.